Nike stock is in the tank, sales are in the tank. They got some CEO that they just forced into retirement. I think it's the last quote I had. It was the fourth quote I want to start there, where I mentioned the CEO that's been replaced by this guy Elliott Hill. Can I get that quote? It's not the one we have up. I think it's number 4. It's the last one I sent. There we go. This is from a New York Times story about Asia Wilson and a signature shoe that came out last week. And it says, this is a study in racism and fame and how they can't, for some reason. Asia Wilson's this 6'4" basketball player for the Las Vegas Aces. She's won the MVP in the WNBA 2 or 3 times. She's won a championship or 2 in the WNBA. They're pretending as if she's LeBron James or Michael Jordan at WNBA, and that the reason why it's taken so long for her to get a signature shoe and her shoe won't sell is because of racism. It's insanity. It's this affirmation of the delusion and the insanity of black women. But Nike has this gift in Caitlin Clark. Women's basketball, this gift in Caitlin Clark. And they won't tap into it. The most popular athlete in America right now, the most popular women's basketball player in the history of America, and they won't give her a shoe because we got to give Asia Wilson one first. And it's cost their former CEO their job. And so I'm quoting from the New York Times. Mr. Powell, the analyst, said Nike's recent struggles as a business and its overhaul last year were instructive as well. With Nike's stock price falling and cultural relevance slipping, its board announced the abrupt retirement of chief executive John Donahue in September and said Elliott Hill would replace him. Mr. Hill has spent 32 years with the company before retiring in 2020. I think we would have seen the Caitlin shoe a lot faster if Elliott had been at the helm, Mr. Powell said. His predecessor just did not appreciate product and the value of endorsement. No, that's not what happened at Nike. That's not why they haven't released a Caitlin Clark shoe. They haven't released it because they've installed a bunch of female executives and middle management people within Nike. They've installed a bunch of diversity hires within Nike who all pander to the delusion of black women. Black women can't be corrected. If you do, you're racist, you're sexist, you're a coon, you're a sellout. Black women can only be worshiped. And so Nike is worshiping Asia Wilson. And Nike's not doing things in its own best interest. They've removed capitalism. They've really removed greed and replaced it with diversity, equity, and inclusion. They've replaced it with the delusion of black women. I want to go to quote number 3, I think, first. Let me go to quote number 3. Here's Asia Wilson, a 6'4" female basketball player who's completely unrelatable to most young girls and most men. She's 6'4". And I'm not ripping her for being 6'4". That's not her fault. But most women are, 5'4"? They can't relate to a woman that's a foot taller than them, who plays a very boring style of basketball. But here's Asia Wilson expressing her delusion. Miss Wilson has not shied away from discussing the impact of race on why she is sometimes called not marketable. Quote from Asia Wilson: "It's 100% about race. And it's one of those things where we can sit there and say that all the time, but there's going to always be someone that's like, well, no, you're just not making it about race. No, you're just making it about race. This is insanity. This woman is claiming she's not popular, she's not marketable because she's black. And that's 100% of the explanation. We live in a country where Michael Jordan and Muhammad Ali and Tiger Woods are probably in the discussion for the three most popular and beloved athletes in American history. And you know who else is probably in the running for that? Serena Williams. She ain't on their level, but she's right up there. And she's making the delusional argument that I'm not popular because of my skin is black. This is insanity. But the New York Times is confirming that insanity. The woman that wrote the Tania, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce her last name, but wrote this story. She used to cover, I think, one of the basketball teams in Los Angeles. Another woman is writing this and confirming this and filling this story with all the delusions of Asia Wilson and writing a narrative that's so far removed from reality. And Nike is losing money for its shareholders. Its chief executive got dumped, all because they have to worship Asia Wilson. They have to create a company that ignores merit and installs diversity, equity, and inclusion everywhere. It doesn't matter whether you're qualified. It doesn't matter whether you're rational. It doesn't matter whether you're a good decision maker. It just matters how it looks and how it feels and whether or not it checks some box. Nike literally, they're undermining their business, losing millions and millions of dollars when they have a solution right there in Caitlin Clark, but they won't do it because they must worship Asia Wilson and black women. This mentality is undermining American culture. And this is the fatigue that people are talking about. It's like, how long are we going to go on with this insanity? And don't we understand the consequences of this insanity? It's not just we're losing money, we're destroying businesses and institutions and worldviews and customs and normal behavior that made this country great, all in service of we must affirm and celebrate the delusions of black women. And I want to be crystal clear here. We're primarily talking about single black women, women that don't deal with a man in their home. They live in a delusional state. They read the Bible and reject it. They ignore the Bible and think they're okay. This is insanity. I want to read you just the links that the New York Times is going to affirm the insanity of Asia Wilson and other black women. There's so many. Go to quote number one. There's so many different things in this article as they just ignore the reality of Caitlin Clark, ignore the reality of and not deal with the fact hold on, Nike has the most popular athlete going right now. Everywhere she shows up, millions of viewers show up. Everywhere she shows up and plays basketball, thousands of people try to buy tickets. They have to move to bigger venues, but we're not going to make a shoe for her. That would be good business. But we don't want to be racist, so we don't want to do good business. We don't want to do what's right for everybody within the company. We don't want to meet the demands of a fan base. We don't want to serve the customers. We want to serve the worship of black women. And so we have this story. It's farcical.
Like what you saw? Hit that like button, subscribe, and check out the full episode by clicking the link below.